Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So we're going to be making coconut candy today, and I have one small sized coconut, a grater and a plate for I don't know. Yes, so I'm going to be grating the coconut straight. My hands are washed and I'll be using the big side of the grater. So I'm grating straight so I could have that, you know, coconut candy shape as you can see on the plate. So I just keep grating whilst making sure that I do not grate my fingers or my nails as well. When you get to a point where you feel like the coconut is too small to be grated and to avoid injuries, please eat what's left or throw it away. So I went ahead to pause the video and came back when I had just one piece left because I don't think anybody would want to keep watching me grate coconuts. That's so boring. So I kept on grating and grating and grating. Let me just fast forward this, right? I think I should. Well, and I kept grating. I was tired. I took a pause, trying to maintain shape, and I went ahead. I kept on, persevered. I eventually had to fast forward this, and my village people took the light. So it's all done, and this is what we have. Yeah, you could peel the back, those brown parts, if you don't want the brown colors, but I was too tired and too lazy to do that, and we headed to the kitchen. So I mixed cinnamon and dates and tigernut powder together. So the date and tigernut powder is what I used as sweetener because I can't come and kill myself with plenty sugar, and I'm trying to lose weight, you know, to be a baby girl. So it's cinnamon for flavor and aroma, and my handmade or homemade date and tigernut powder as sweetener. I already have my pan preheated, and I'll be using just a little pure groundnut oil, vegetable oil, as you can see. I'm trying to be careful so I don't pour a lot. So that's what I had in my pan, and then I just swirled it, what's it called, made it go round in the pan. Pardon that, I was trying to take something out of the oil. So I left it on fire to get hot a bit. Still trying to make sure everywhere is covered with oil. I'm still here, guys. Still waiting for the oil to be as hot as my ancestors would allow me. You know, I didn't use any timing, so I think we're ready now. I had to take a bit to taste, you know, chef has to taste what she's making. Oh, and this is my first time ever, so you're learning with me, and I hope it comes out well. If not, I'll be so sad. So So I tried to mix everything together, and oh guys, it tasted really nice when I tasted it. And I added just a little bit of sugar afterwards, like I think half teaspoon or so, just for sugar cravings. But I made sure to add more dates and tigernut powder. I think I had 2 tablespoons full of that. So I add the coconuts, and the coconuts already mixed with tigernut and date powder and cinnamon. I add it into the pan. The oil is hot enough for me because I didn't want anything to waste. And then I kept stirring. So you have to keep doing this to avoid coming back to a burnt offering, So you just have to keep stirring and stirring. And I forgot to mention, it's supposed to be on low heat. So I used the second to the smallest burner on my gas cooker, and I still turn down the heat. So I just left it on fire, and at this point I was mixing my powdered milk in water. You could use coconut milk or evaporated milk or condensed milk, like any liquid milk that you want to use, but I didn't have liquid milk at home, and I was just basically using everything that I had at home, nothing outsourced. You could also add vanilla essence or extract, but I didn't have that at home. That was the main reason I actually used cinnamon. I feel like that's a healthier choice, or that was a healthier choice. So yeah, like I was saying, I was mixing my milk in water. So I used 2 sachets of milk and half a cup of water. It was not for this recipe. This is the first recipe, basic recipe. I was just preparing for the second recipe that you're going to see after this one. So in the milk as well, I added cinnamon to it just for flavor and aroma. So I kept stirring and stirring and stirring. I may eventually have to fast forward. Yeah, so this is method number 2. I already took that out. I didn't time it. I just used my eyes, and when it started to turn brown the way that I liked, I took it out and put it in a plate. So I add just a little bit of oil for that was actually too much but there was nothing I could do. So I added oil. Nothing big particular about adding oil, I just added it. I could have used coconut oil for flavor as well, but I didn't have that. I finished my coconut oil rubbing it on my skin. So this was me waiting for the oil to be hot enough, and then after that I added half a cup of sugar, half a cup of granulated sugar. I just poured it in, sprinkled it in, whatever word. I'm going to drop my cup because I like to tidy as I cook, basically. Then I remembered that, oops, I did not turn on the gas. I turned it off before and I didn't turn it on again. So I started to try to turn it on. I was scared because I've heard of phones blowing up when used by gas cookers. But it didn't blow up on me, and I'm grateful to God, who is my protection. I'm not sure why I was opening that bottle of oil anymore, but then I went to get half a cup of water. So I wasn't even supposed to use half a cup of water. So I was trying to, caramelize the sugar. And if you want to do that, you could, for example, use 1 cup of sugar to 1/4 cup of water, right? That's the measurement, like that. But since this was my first time, and when it starts boiling, there's no need to stir, because it's going to be grainy. So you're going to have like a grainy caramel, not a smooth one. But if you don't mind the grains, that's totally fine. Again, this was my first time trying to caramelize anything, or trying to make these coconut candy balls or coconut flake balls. So yeah, it's boiling here, and you're not supposed to stir at all. But DOXA, the chef, I really did not know what I was doing. Anyways, I was just trying my hands in it, and I was trying to check the consistency. I think I turned up the heat, or I turned it down some more. I'm not sure what was happening there. Yeah, so I actually went confused and added more sugar. I'm not sure why, but I did. And yeah, so for caramelization, when it starts boiling, you just leave it there and swell your pan, and then you just leave it on the fire. It starts turning brown. But I didn't have that time. I was in a hurry. I didn't want to get caught using a phone by the gas cooker. And that's the milk and cinnamon I was talking about the other time. So I put 2 sachets of milk to 1/2 cup of water, and cinnamon to taste. I'm not a big fan of cinnamon when it's excessive or in excess portion. So I just added the amount that I thought was okay for me, and then I stirred and stirred to mix up everything together. And I noticed that the sugar was now getting very sticky and trying to get burnt. So when I added more sugar, I was supposed to add a little bit more water, but I did not. Anyways, yeah, so I left it on fire, and I made sure to add every drop of the milk. Then the coconut flakes. Yeah, I've noticed that the liquid in the pan reduced. I realized that it was too much for the amount of flakes I had left, so I just reduced it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I'll probably just maybe douse some slices of bread in it and fry with eggs, or soak some pieces of yam rather in it and fry. So I'll just try to be creative with it. I'm not sure, but it really tastes nice. The milk, the cinnamon, the sugar, everything was just lovely. So I just stirred to make sure that it didn't burn. I kept stirring and mixing everything together. The goal here, so if I actually waited for the sugar to caramelize, it would have been brown, which I was going for, but I didn't have that time to wait. So maybe next time when I do it, I'll try to do it when I'm at home alone. So I just stirred and stirred, making sure that it was getting the moisture was reducing, and it was getting sticky enough. So you see here that the moisture or the water has reduced enough, or a lot, and it started to turn a bit brown. It wasn't plain white or as it was before, or it isn't plain white as it was before. I feel like I'm discussing. I hope you guys can hear me, right? Yeah, I trust you can hear me. So I just kept stirring and stirring and stirring, just to mix everything together and make sure nothing burns and all of that. bad stuff. Yes, it had dried, but I still left it on fire because I wanted everything to soak in so much. And voila, this is how it looks. Looks delicious and what's that word, creamy and succulent, right? And I left it on the tray for it to get cold so I can mold. For it to get cold so I can mold rinds. My hands are washed and I would use them, or I started to use them to mold them into circles, like the shape I wanted. So you could just let it dry more and leave it plain, no circle shapes or anything, just be creative with it. But I call them coconut flake balls, so I was living up to what I call them. So I just took my time to mold them. You can mold them bigger or smaller, at this size, whatever way you want. I just try to mold them in small bits so everyone at home could get a taste of it, and my boyfriend too. Hopefully it remains until I could see him the next day. Hopefully it remains till when I see him the next day, because we have to go to mold break. But if it doesn't remain, I'll just apologize. Yeah, just kept on molding. Please, while doing this, make sure that your hands are clean. Like, we can't, or you can't be eating germs and serving people germs. Make sure to wash your hands. After working in the kitchen, I came back here and I made sure to wash my hands before I started molding. In my mouth. And it really tastes nice. So those are my coconut flake balls, and they had to scatter for a reason I do not know. And this is the regular coconut flakes. You can add this to your yogurt, your parfait, your oats, anything at all. And I'm so glad that I used the tigernut and dates powder as sweetener, and then I used cinnamon for aroma and flavor. So the cook has to eat what she made. It was my first try, and guys, I'm not even exaggerating, it was so nice. Like, it tasted so good. Like, you know when you want sugar, like you want sugar junk, like this is it. Is so delicious. If you're going to try this, please let me know in the comment section, and when you do as well, please come back to tell me how it went and how it tasted. I'm not exaggerating, guys. This is a holy grail sugar craving satisfier. Thank you for watching. I love you and I celebrate you. Keep being phenomenal. I'll just go fin around. Bye.